We have a record volume of new hires. This agency is handing out job offers quickly, but even at this pace, it'll still take years to get to a healthy level of employees. This is happening at the State Department, and more specifically, the Foreign Service. The reason for this hiring spree is because they received enough funding to make it happen, and they need employees. The ramp up, really, it's just started. The Foreign Service is currently hiring around 1,000 new employees. And it will take at least until 2026 or 2027 until they're able to fill all the empty positions. Why did this occur? They were on a hiring freeze for about 16 months, and they weren't able to hire anybody. They were slowly shrinking. The State Department also needs to hire a lot more people for their consular workload, which includes visa programs. This would have been in serious trouble if the pandemic didn't happen. When the pandemic hit, less people were traveling, they were able to catch up. If the pandemic didn't happen, they would have been overwhelmed and forced either to get contractors or find the money somewhere in order to hire more employees. But when it comes to recruiting efforts, the agency wants to cast a wider net. This is because of the old reputation the State Department had. It had a reputation of being pale, male, and Yale. And I didn't even know what that meant until I read this article. But there was a 3-minute YouTube video that discusses that the State Department was very elitist when it was first formed. And despite people of diverse backgrounds able to pass the written test, they would still be cast aside during the oral exam. If you take a look at the current makeup of the State Department, it's still largely white with 56%. You have 24% black and 7.9% Hispanic. It's also 54% male. If you look at this agency's recent hiring efforts, they've been hiring more people in rural areas. They've been hiring more military veterans and Americans with disabilities. It doesn't show how they're doing this. It simply says that they are doing this. All right, so let's take a deeper look at the opportunities in the Department of State. On USAJobs.gov, if you search the Department of State, we see that there's 63 jobs open. But let's go ahead and filter by open to the public. If we do that, we only get 33 jobs, which is about a 50% drop. Open to the public is important to you if you have no other hiring path. A lot of people, they're not disabled, they're not a veteran, they're not a recent college grad, they didn't serve in the Peace Corps. So if you don't have these pathways open to you, you're going to be stuck with just open to the public. Now, the 3 main job series that stick out here include the 0130 Foreign Affairs job series. This job series has a lot of commonalities when it comes to the State Department. Number 1, all these jobs, they go into the 6 figures. Number 2, they use the direct hire authority. This allows you to circumvent veterans' preference. This allows you to get hired quicker. And you can qualify in different ways. 1, you can have a college degree with 24 semester hours in international relations, or you can have 4 years of experience or a combination of both. This is unique because most federal government jobs, they only ask for 12 months of specialized experience. This one's asking for 4. Well, what type of experience would you need to be eligible for a job like this? Well, you need experience analyzing U.S. foreign policies or programs and writing reports or briefings. This experience, it doesn't have to be directly government related. It even says here that it can be gained by teaching, business, military service, newspaper work, missionary, or international relief work. One of the big things that really separate federal government jobs from private sector jobs is that they value your non-paid experience. It doesn't matter if it was volunteer work or an unpaid internship. If you did the action, you did the task, they're going to give you credit for it. So you need to list out on your resume exactly what experience you have, and do not worry if it's a paid position or not. The next area of jobs here are in the 0300 job series, which is admin. Here we can see office management positions, program analyst, staff assistants, and this is in the DC area, so they pay well into the 6 figures as well. None of these jobs have an educational component. You can be somebody with a GED that has 3 or 4 years of work experience that's directly relevant and still compete for a lot of these type of jobs. This job here has a salary that goes all the way up to $153,000 a year. And check out the specialized experience here. You need to have experience providing advice on administrative policies and procedures, experience preparing reports and delivering briefings to officials. I know that over half the people watching this right now, they can apply and be found eligible for this job. The reason it's written so vaguely is because they want to encourage more people to apply. Sometimes job announcements are not written so specifically because they want to cast a wider net to see who applies to the position. Another big section of jobs are in the 2210 job series, which is IT management. For this agency, it's mainly information security or cybersecurity. But if you look at 2210, you go to the OPM job series handbook, there's a dozen areas. There's certain areas that focus specifically on policy, on help desk, on application development. So you need to find your focus of 2210 and start to write your resume around the language you're going to find in that handbook. So how is it to work at the State Department? You saw the rankings. The rankings weren't that good, but some people really enjoy it, especially because there are hundreds of opportunities to work internationally around the globe. You can look on the website. They list out over 270 embassies and consulates. The list goes from Argentina all the way down to Vietnam. There's so many opportunities here. And just like any position, how well you like it, how well you enjoy it will come down to your immediate supervisor. How can you get a gauge on your immediate supervisor? That is discovered during the interview process. Ask those questions. Find out about who you're reporting to. What is their personality like? Now, if you're still looking for a federal government job, there's been some rule changes. Some of these rule changes, they work towards your benefit. Other ones, they do not. If you want to know more about the recent rule changes when it comes to federal hiring, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.